Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today. I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right, it is Friday, so it's my PowerPoint presentation, right? Literary presentation. A visual image really helps the words move along and create the images that you want. Clay Bowl's Destiny, poem by Hafiz. The ship you're riding on, look where it's headed. Its port is the graveyard. Realizing the destiny of each clay bowl tossed into the sky with no one to catch it, I finally accepted the beloved's kind offer to enroll in his ball-busting school of spirit love. I hope something happens for you to change your life and enroll in this school. The problem is, how can you kick back when the world is the way it is? Holy leisure. What does that mean? Waiting on practicing the presence? It seems like some escapism, right? Nihilism, pessimism. But be still, because power collects around stillness. And then avoid distractions, rather than handling distractions, huh? What do? Look at this class, right? Heads up, dude, Professor Atkins just asked you a question. About what, man? Not paying attention. The problems. But myth is an artful arrangement of lies that tells the truth. Totally false on the outside, completely true on the inside. So, do you have a little magic lamp in your life? If you rub it, is the genie going to come out? What does that all mean? Well, one thing to look at is the seasons of your life as a youth, as an elder, and as an adult and an elder. We grow through these different stages. Each one has different tasks for your ego to develop as one ages, and whether or not you psychologically can move the skill set that you had at the younger age into the next season of your life. It's one of the challenges of growth, isn't it? Also, sometimes you see it as the white, the red, and the black. Very often, let's say for women, they're sanctioned in the white when they're younger. They're supposed to be pure, virginal, you're just the maiden coming of age. And then you move into the red when you become capable of having children. Now you're the mother or the queen. And you're also a little bit more aggressive. You're not so pure and nice as you were when you were a girl or a young teen. Now you kick ass and take names. And then you move into the waning part, where you're the crone, the juicy crone, the keeper of the law, and providing proper perspective for the different seasons of your life. In men, I think it's slightly different. You get sanctioned in the red right away for your aggression, and then later on you want to pull back and go into the garden and not be as aggressive as you was before, but in the end you meet up in the black. Instead of the crone, you're the wise old man or the wizard figure. As we change the diaper also changes us. Part of this path of what I call holy leisure is you have to learn how to waste time prodigiously. Doesn't mean you can't be productive, but in your mind, you're not doing it for the same motivation that you did when you're trying to collect a goal. It's just called waiting on God's presence. Hopefully, at some point, like in the Bible, you'll hear your name called. Hineni, here I am. Send me. Yeah, you hope. But the key is just create as much highly unstructured time in your life. Don't put anything into it. Just let everything unfold. Let your inner artist come out. Play is so important. Homo ludens, man the player, human the player. So find that thing that lets you loose, that you can lose yourself for hours without being distracted. Yeah. And as soon as you do that, you understand you've just taken an inner retreat. You've given yourself a dash of monasticism, where it's all about the inner work that you're doing, whether you're with community or by yourself. It's all happening inside anyway. So don't feel compelled to work. Our whole culture will just want to hook you up onto the grind, like a rat in a maze, doing it again and again. But you can't live your whole life where everything is utilitarian. You have to have some fun. Yeah, that's why the Buddhist monks, they love to do this, huh? But becoming human, is it something that's done? Or if you use the word evolution, can there be a final word in an evolving cosmos? Are we still moving ahead towards something else? As opposed to other pictures I have where it reverses and in the end you stoop down like a monkey over the computer. But remember, it's up to you to find out where that challenge level is, because the familiar is not the field of significant action. You got to break with that. So how about this is like an unfamiliar thing? Jumping out of a helicopter on a mountain with only a board and no ski poles? Pretty radical, huh? But ultimately, you have to connect to what I call the warrior, the part of you that's willing to fight the good fight. It's not addicted to harmony. It doesn't have to have R&R all the time. It doesn't have to be nice for you to be effective in your action and your strategy. And then don't do wound worship. You have no loyalty that binds you to the objects of the past that torment you. Just let that stuff go. And if you do, you'll find out you've learned how to renew your life by recycling your own manure, just like you put shit, on the soil to fertilize it. Yeah? So your own shit can fertilize your own unfolding. And then get into some kind of program. Very few people are able to do this just by themselves. You usually need a community, whether it's a 12-step program or a yoga sangha or any support group that meets. And like they say in the 12-step program, it's not your fault that you're here, but it is your job to get out of it. So leave the past, don't wound worship, recycle the manure, work on yourself. I love this idea that your truth is welcome here, we say in the men's work. And here's a Halloween group therapy. I love this. So Dracula says, my love bites. And the ghost says, I'm not the man I used to be. And the pumpkin says, I feel hollow inside. And the witch says, I curse everything. And the ghoul says, I haven't felt alive in years. And the disembodied head said, I just feel disconnected. Whatever your truth is, share it, because it's always welcome, however dark it is. And remember, if you're not proactive when I'm talking about these things, by default you go to chaos. If you're not proactive, by default you go to chaos. So choose, use your will, design your path, and in the end, remember, it's all about effortless effort, right? Effortless being. So put your oomph into it, but remember, learn what it is to understand energy without resistance. Have a great day.